Hi and welcome to Momentum Basketball. My name is Fredrik. Today we're going to talk about two myths regarding shooting in basketball. I previously talked about the importance in shot mechanics about one motion shooting, and that is based on physics. So we're going to break that down a little bit today, relating that to two myths. The first one, and that are still being taught, I believe, in a lot of gyms over the world, is the importance of bending your knees. You hear coaches all the time, bend your knees to players. And I think that they might be mistaking a little bit in what that means. The idea behind it is, of course, right. They don't want their players to shoot with their shoulders and their arms. So they say, bend your knees so you can shoot with your legs. The idea behind it is correct, but still, it is not the correct thing to teach. Because if I bend my knees before I catch the shot, which is the idea of that instruction, if I bend my knees before I catch the ball, I will be down here, I will catch the ball, and I will jump. That means that I have used the floor in no way, basically. I have just used my leg muscles, and that's good. It's better than standing up here and throwing the ball, but it's still more of a shot put than a fluid shot. So what should we do instead? We are going to talk about that, and I will show that in later episodes, but I will touch upon it briefly. What you want to do is, of course, you want to come to this position with slightly bent knees, but you don't want to start there. So if I'm in a catch and shoot situation, I'm going to catch a pass to shoot. What I want to do is stay upright. Because at the moment when the ball basically touches my hands, at that moment I want to bring the ball down and bring my hips down at the same time, coming to that position of slightly, not a lot, a slightly bent knees. From basically the force of coming here, down into the floor, I will bend my knees, create some leverage in the knees and some tension, and then use the floor and that tension in the legs going up. Then I will have created a lot more power and force than standing down here from the start. So the idea about bending your knees is correct, but the details is what matters. So instead, and we will, as I say, talk about this in later episodes, start up high, come down, and then go up. Stop bending your knees before you catch the ball. The other myth that I want to address is the myth about the shot pocket. Also something that is being taught in many gyms around the world. And it still lingers from the 80s, I think. And once again, I understand the idea behind it. Of course, we shoot the basketball with one hand behind the ball. I'm a right-hand shooter. And the other one as a supporting hand. So you want to teach young players to bring the ball up and get this feeling of shooting the basketball from this position. The problem with that is that when you start teaching this and you start working with this, you put the ball here, and then you bend your knees. So the ball goes up, and the knees goes down. From this point, I have no way of leveraging a fluid motion from the floor and up. So this idea of knees down, ball up, and then push is, I believe, something that will hinder a lot of players when they move up into more difficult, faster basketball, to have a fluid shot from far out or in fast game speed situations. So instead, of course, there is a shot pocket, but you shouldn't work at it as a static position. Because with one motion shooting, when I catch the ball, I come down with hips and ball at the same time. Now I've put energy into the floor, into the legs. The ball is right down here with my legs and with my hips, and now I can rise up with hips, legs, the whole body and the ball at the same time. If I now am able to start this motion, this release motion, before the highest peak, and we talked about this in the first episodes, before the highest peak, if I reach the highest peak, there's zero energy left from this lift up. Then if I start this motion, I will be able to use the energy from the floor and not my muscles. That of course means that the shot pocket is sort of a moving target. Somewhere around here I will start springing the ball up into the air towards the basket. So I would suggest stop talking about the shot pocket as a static position, and if you want to work on the shot pocket, you should not bring the ball up, then bend your knees and push, but instead you should start from this position and going fluid motion up. So we will come back on this channel about more myths and more details about shot mechanics and other basketball skills.